Okay, so you want to drive for Uber Black, buy a luxury car, put on a suit, drive rich people around, and rake in way more than a regular Uber driver. Sounds like the upgrade everyone wants. Here's the thing though. Uber Black looks like easy premium money from the outside, but the actual economics are way tighter than people expect, and most drivers have no idea what they're really signing up for financially. Let's start with the barrier to entry, because this is where the fantasy usually dies fast. To drive Uber Black, you need a specific type of vehicle. Think a black Cadillac Escalade, a Mercedes S-Class, a BMW 7 Series, something that screams luxury, not a used Camry. That means you're looking at a car worth anywhere from $50,000 to over $100,000. Most drivers don't own one outright, so they're financing, and that monthly payment alone can run $800 to $1,500 before they've picked up a single passenger. Then there's the commercial insurance requirement. Regular Uber drivers can often get away with a hybrid personal commercial policy. Uber Black requires proper commercial livery insurance in most markets, and that can run $300 to $600 a month, sometimes more depending on the city. Add licensing. Many cities require a chauffeur's permit or a specific for-hire vehicle license, which comes with its own fees and sometimes a background check and defensive driving course. So before a driver earns a single dollar, they're already carrying fixed monthly costs that can easily hit $1,500 to $2,000. Here's the part that actually surprises people, though. The fares are genuinely higher. Uber Black rides typically cost 60 to 75% more than a standard UberX ride for the same distance. So on paper, the revenue side looks great. A driver might pull in $30, $40, even $50 for a ride that an UberX driver would only get $20 for. Look, that premium is real, and it's the entire reason people get into this in the first place. But here's where the math gets brutal. That luxury vehicle everyone needs, it depreciates fast, and it drinks gas or premium fuel at a rate a regular sedan never will. An Escalade or an S-Class can cost double the fuel of a Corolla, and maintenance is not cheap either. Brake jobs, tires, and routine service on a luxury vehicle can run 2 to 3 times what a standard car costs to maintain. A driver putting 40 or 50,000 miles a year on one of these vehicles is looking at real wear that eats directly into that premium fare advantage. So here's a stat that puts it in perspective. Studies on rideshare economics have found that after accounting for vehicle depreciation, fuel, insurance, maintenance, and platform fees, many full-time drivers, across both standard and premium tiers, are netting somewhere in the range of $10 to $18 an hour once true costs are factored in, not the $30 or $40 an hour the gross fares might suggest. Uber Black drivers do typically land on the higher end of that range because of the fare premium, but the gap between money coming in and money actually kept is way bigger than most people assume walking in. Now here's where the design of the platform itself becomes the real story. Uber takes a commission on every ride, and for Black tier, that cut has historically run higher than standard UberX in a lot of markets, sometimes 25 to 30% of the fare. So that $50 ride isn't $50 in the driver's pocket. It's more like $35 after the platform takes its share. And that's before gas, before wear on a luxury vehicle, before insurance. And here's the psychology that keeps drivers in the game anyway. The good days feel incredible. Airport runs to 5-star hotels, corporate accounts that tip well and book consistently, a slow Tuesday afternoon shift that suddenly turns into $300 from one lucky booking. Those high moments are memorable, and they're what people talk about when they tell you Uber Black is worth it. What doesn't get talked about is a slow Wednesday where a driver sits idle for 2 hours between rides, still paying insurance and still watching that car depreciate whether it's moving or not. This is really where the whole business either works or doesn't. Utilization. A driver who's constantly busy, back-to-back booking, especially through corporate accounts or private client relationships built outside the app, can make Uber Black genuinely lucrative. But a driver relying purely on random app pings in a market that doesn't have consistent Black-tier demand can end up burning fuel and depreciation while sitting parked, waiting for a ride that might not come for an hour. So why do drivers still fail at this, even when the fare math looks solid? The first reason is buying too much car. A driver stretches to buy the newest, flashiest Escalade, thinking it'll land more bookings, and ends up with a car payment so large it eats the entire fare premium, before anything else even gets subtracted. The second reason is underestimating maintenance reserves. Luxury vehicles need luxury-level upkeep, and a driver who doesn't set aside real money for that ends up hit with a $2,000 repair bill they simply don't have covered. The third reason is market mismatch. Uber Black only really makes sense in cities with genuine demand for premium rides, meaning major metro areas with airports, business travelers, and corporate accounts. A driver trying this in a smaller market without that demand is essentially operating a luxury vehicle in a market that only wants to pay economy prices. So let's put real numbers on a decent month. Say a driver in a strong market like New York or LA does 40 rides a week at an average fare of $45. That's $1,800 a week in gross fare, or about $7,200 a month. After Uber's commission, call it around 28%. That drops to roughly $5,200. Subtract the car payment, insurance, fuel, and maintenance. Easily $1,800 to $2,200 a month for a luxury vehicle running high mileage. And a driver is netting somewhere around $3,000 a month in take-home pay for what's often a 50 to 60-hour work week once you count the waiting time between rides. That's not nothing, but it's a far cry from the luxury driving, luxury money image people have in their head before they get into this business. The drivers who genuinely do well are the ones who treat it less like gig work and more like running a small transportation company, building repeat corporate clients directly, negotiating standing airport pickup arrangements, keeping meticulous maintenance schedules so a breakdown never turns into a five-figure emergency, and often owning their vehicle outright instead of financing, which completely changes the monthly math in their favor. So is Uber Black actually the premium upgrade it looks like from the outside? Kind of, but only for drivers who understand it's a capital-intensive small business wearing a gig economy disguise. The fare premium is real. The commission and vehicle costs are also real, and they eat a much bigger bite than most people expect before they buy the car. The drivers who make genuine money here aren't the ones chasing app pings all day. They're the ones who figured out how to turn a rideshare app into the marketing arm of a private car service they actually own and control. And that's the real economics of being an Uber Black driver. It's not a shortcut to easy premium income. It's a business that happens to run through your phone, where the difference between barely breaking even and actually profiting comes down to how well you manage a depreciating asset, not how nice your car looks pulling up outside a five-star hotel.